Truth Rest Your Head by Gene on XFM 104.9 with Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. While I was with Karl in that restaurant, while I was giving him the problems, the old fellow with Viagra and the two fellas making love in the cubicle, we came up with a new idea, because he's dumping, do we need him? As I say, he thinks the scientists have got together, they're never going to wipe out a limpet or a slug. They think they're good, but they're not that good. This is people that are lauded as great minds, and Karl has brought them down.
He's taken issue with them.
Like what? He went, right, great thinkers, and I went, okay, then, Sir Isaac Newton, the father of modern physics. He went, is he the fellow with the apple? I went, yeah. He went, there again, see? Why do I need to know that the Earth sucks us towards it, gravity? He said, if I was floating around, it would be a problem, I'd ask his opinion. I went, what about Einstein? He went, again, I've never needed, and this is what he said, I've never needed MC squared in my life. The fella who invented the video, I watch one a day.
You know what I mean, though? Give credit where credit's due.
Right.
And I think that a lot of this stuff that was invented, like when we were talking about inventions, you know, I started to look in books and that, finding stuff out. And there was some fella who got a mention on an invention site just because he came up with the fishbowl. And it's like, is it that hard?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's clearly a
Sorry, you're not putting him in the same category as Newton and Einstein, are you?
He was on the same list. Einstein was on there. It was saying about him doing that. And Newton with the apple. And, who else was in there? Da Vinci, whatever. He was on there.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah. Is he the one who did Mona Lisa as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it took him 12 years to paint the lips. I don't think that's that good. That it takes that long. I saw, you know, when you think, saw Tony Hart do like an Aborigine man with a elephant in the background in about 3 minutes.
Aborigine. An Aborigine? Yeah. Really? An elephant?
So what about some of the big names? What's your first reaction when I say some big names from history?
Go on.
Gandhi.
Again, what did he do?
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
Okay.
Good point.
But yeah, alright. Do you understand what he represents?
Well, go on, tell me, and then I'll tell you if he deserves to be mentioned.
His whole kind of attitude towards peaceful protest, you know, it's quite a sort of modern idea, you know, very much the forefather of, you know, the 60s movement, you know, where people would sort of sit in, you know, and protest, you know,
Steve. Right, look at the glazed look on his face.
Did I lose him on Gandhi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just,
Pick
it's
someone else, do someone else.
Pick someone else, okay. Well, someone you know about this, obviously, let's think, a great thinker, Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
Right, yeah, he's alright.
Brilliant, thanks. What about
Jesus Christ?
Well, I'm thinking more your modern day, like your Richard Bransons and that.
Okay.
Who, like, you know...
to be fair, I wouldn't put Branson up there with Gandhi.
Christ, Newton, Einstein.
But why?
Stephen Hawking.
Because he's mainly known for having a beard and a funny jumper. To be honest, you have to start including Noel Edmonds.
That's Noel Edmonds, yeah, you're getting confused there.
But Branson's a businessman, he's not one of the great, sort of, you know, scientific minds.
I think
or
in time,
thinkers.
right, in time...
Whereas Clive Sinclair, in his little car, on his way to work, brilliant.
No, but in time, there's certain things, like the apple falling off a tree.
Right.
Whoever was sat there would have gone, that's a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? It's just that they were there first.
But to be fair, Christ instigated 2,000 years of religion based on his teachings. Richard Branson, to be fair, he did launch Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells.
Yeah,
they're not quite comparable.
It depends what you get impressed by, doesn't it? Suzanne's always saying...
Maybe Newton was there, he was coming up with a brilliant theory, like amazing, he was probably inventing the helicopter, right? The apple hit him in the head and he went, the earth's sucking me. The earth's sucking me. Do you know what I mean?
Could have happened. But so, you know, my girlfriend's always saying, you know, what impresses you?
Yeah.
You know, because she was saying the other day, do you want to go to Egypt? And I said, no, not really.
No.
She goes, well, don't you want to see the pyramids?
Not interested.
It's like, I've seen them on the telly.
Okay.
You know,
sure.
Are they going to be that much more amazing when you see them in real life?
Good point. How did you ever move out of your street in Manchester?
But hang on, no, sorry, I'm interested to know, because this is something that, that he came up with, and this is someone that loves him and that he respects, so I'm interested to see, what was your answer to what impresses you?
I don't think I did answer it. I just said, you know, the odd
You just said I'm asleep.
little things. little things like I ran home the other night and said, "Oh, I've just learnt something today." She goes, "Go on." And do you know Lego bricks?
Oh yeah.
The name came about because some kid's mum, the kid was messing with the bricks, and she said, "Let go of them and come and have your dinner."
Play record.
It's got to be rubbish. It's got to be
Play
rubbish.
It's always rubbish, isn't it? When
Thin Lizzy, what a classic.
Beautiful.
Carl, should that be our anthem, me, you and Steve, eh? Eh? Yeah?
Can I just get a couple of bits of admin out of the way?
Go on.
We've had an email from Peter Goff. He has said, where is Richard Anderson?
Where is
He only
Dickers?
tunes in to listen to him.
Where's
and it's absolutely
Dickley? Where's
fair enough.
little Dicky Docker?
Little Dickie Anders has not emailed in. If you don't listen normally, Anders is our biggest fan.
He
Normally he's got
loves
some-
us. I just absolutely
But he's
thinks the
normally
world
got
of...
a little bit of constructive criticism,
Oh,
which
well,
we
no,
always
he's
appreciate.
not- Yeah, we're open to that. Sure, sure,
Exactly.
sure.
So-
you! I'm gonna shove this up your...
So if Dickie Anders is listening, then he might want to get in touch. Also, dear Ricky, I've developed a bit of a fetish for the way you say "winnersh" in your hit sitcom The Office. I'm trying to get my fiancé to say it, but he hasn't quite mastered it yet. Anyway, we're getting married in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks' time. Could you please say "winnersh" on air as a sort of early wedding
It's
present?
becoming one of the most popular requests at weddings now, me saying "winnersh." So, "winnersh." There's a few I didn't get in. Thatcham, Shinfield. So, there's a Woodley.
There you are.
There you go.
That's beautiful. That's keeping them happy. Good luck to them. That's that's Leopard. One of those stupid email names. If you're going to email us, at least mention your name, because otherwise it makes me sound like a
A
fool.
leopard, the original name for a giraffe.
Interesting. Thanks for that.
Whereas Lego was
Yes.
invented when a mother had sent someone to get some, though there's no name for them. She went, "Can you go and get some?" There was a gap. He went, "Oh yeah, I'll go and get some," because they weren't called anything. Brought them back, started playing with her. And then she went, "Look, give me those." He went, "No." She went, "Lego, you idiot."
Yeah, the actual explanation, various people have emailed us in or phoned in now. The company was set up in 1934. It's a Danish company, obviously.
Yeah.
Lego comes from the Danish words leg got, which means play well, and it was later discovered that it was also a Latin phrase that meant I study or I put together. That's the actual, where did you get that from?
But the thing is, you see, that's where learning's got to be interesting, because if it even started like that, I'd just go, "I'm not interested." I'd be looking for...
Oh, so if a fact may be true, but it's just not good enough.
It's not interesting enough for you.
Not interesting enough.
Okay, another quick
Right.
dilemma for you,
So
Carl.
if Newton would have said, apples are attracted to our heads, be careful, they attack you, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Total bollocks, but you'd have been interested, therefore, in all modern physics. Alright?
Here's another dilemma for you, a quick one from Kate. She says that she's a single woman, she's 6 foot tall. Recently she's found herself being approached by men of, let's say, restricted height. And she's not desperate, but is it ever acceptable in her, she wants to know now, is it ever acceptable for a tall lady to go out with a person of restricted growth? What do you think about that? If you see that on the street, do you think it looks bizarre, do you think it looks odd, or
So a
should she just
6
go with
foot
it?
woman with,
Someone of a dwarfish persuasion.
we can't say sort of that, or the midget word, but I
can't
mean,
say that, no,
that's a little fella.
Yeah. Is that, so there's a noticeable difference in their height. Is that ever a problem, do you feel?
She's 6 foot, he's 3'4".
Yeah.
If I saw it, I'd just think she's doing it... you know.
Okay, let's not do this now.
No, come on, she's doing it what?
No, for attention, in a way. Because there's loads of other
See, I
people...
told you, Steve.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just I mean, is that serious?
I think so.
Well, I mean, if whatever
they
makes you
shouldn't.
happy.
Please don't ask Carl
No,
these
but
sort
do you
of
know what I
questions.
mean? If it makes her happy, then do it. But in a way, you're not going to have a normal life.
Oh, God.
No, but you're not, because you're going to get sick.
I'm
There's no
so
point bringing
sorry.
trouble onto yourself.
Carl does not necessarily reflect the opinions of
Anybody
the
else in the world.
Hold on. This woman, she doesn't live in a forest in a little cottage, does she? She hasn't got long black hair and wears a sort of...
She says the guy she's going out with is a miner. In a
Really?
crystal mine, yeah. And he just sings all day on his
Has
way
he
to
got
work.
6 mates?
Apparently so.
Okay, what do you think of that, Carl?
I'm still sorry, I wasn't listening. I was just thinking about.
Someone just called up and called him dopey,
Yeah.
didn't they?
I mean, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Why? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you today?
I'm just saying.
What, you're fed up with people, taking issue with some of the stupid things you say? Lego was invented by a mother going, let go of that. What are we going to do with all the buildings? The earth might collapse. What do you expect people to say?
Well,
Even our listeners know you're talking rubbish. And some of those that aren't allowed to wear socks. I mean...
Listen, right, last week when I did Do We Need 'Em, do you know when I called up, one of the museums in a science museum?
Yeah, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I wanted to tell you before when the song was on, but you're so busy listening to it.
Yeah, was I so busy listening to a song I was playing?
Yeah, but we're doing a radio show, aren't
Alright,
we?
what's your point?
Well, I just wanted to say, she emailed in to say I got her name wrong, so I'm just apologising for that.
What did you call her?
I think I called her Jessica.
What was her name?
I don't know, I've got it on email somewhere.
Well, this is not an apology!
No, I know, I'm
You've
just
got
saying...
it wrong again!
You've not even said her real name! How is that an apology?
Well, I remember, I read the email, so, yeah,
But who are you apologising to?
I think her name's Jackie, I think.
Oh, you've got it wrong again, haven't you?
Well, anyway, and she just said if you want to see dinosaurs and that, go to the museum.
You were complaining about that as well, weren't you? You went to a museum and there was too many dinosaurs. He said you just need 4.
No, well, Steve, have you been to the one in Knightsbridge?
I think
this
so.
one that I called up, right? It's nice, you go in, you get a good collection of stuff, you walk in, there's 3 or 4 dinosaurs, you've had enough, right? I went into New York, right, went to the museum there, hundreds of them. You can't move for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're responsible for them being extinct. There's loads of them. So all I'm saying is, if you want to see a dinosaur, go to the one near Knightsbridge. They've got a nice selection, some old vases and stuff. It's worth going. So,
do you work for them? Because that was a pretty big sell.
Well,
You could work that into quite an advert, I imagine. Brilliant. Carl, you're fed up, aren't you? Because you had to get up early.
Well, that's another thing, but will we give out the answers for...
Let's do that after we've played the next tune. I have to say that I'm wondering if Rockbusters, like Do We Need 'Em, is beginning to run its course, because this week we've had very, very few right answers. I think you're just getting too complicated.
Yeah, because his clues and his answers are rubbish. Why don't you start doing proper ones?
These are good. We started off easy. If you remember.
I think some of them are a bit tortuous.
They
but anyway,
don't work. Some of them don't work.
Come up with some stuff then.
let's play a tune.
Well, I have.
And we'll come back with the Rockbusters answers in a second. Enjoyed it.
XFM 104.9. Well, that's nearly it from Ricky Gervais. That's me, Steve Merchant.
One of the 50 most eligible bachelors in Britain. I hope people as well, if you buy Company Magazine, if there's any ladies listening. Every week, of course, I've played you a song for the ladies, and I hope now that you'll be able to return the favour and maybe vote for me. Buy Company Magazine, vote for me, so I become 50, the number one.
That's true. It wouldn't mean anything then, would it?
What do you mean?
Well, it wouldn't mean anything then, would it? If they voted you and you got into the top 30, it wouldn't mean anything because you've asked them to do it.
What are you talking about? Of course because it means that they care for me enough and that they are impressed and charmed by enough that they've actually made that effort. That's beautiful.
I think that would ruin it.
Well, let's wait and see what the results are.
Do you think, getting off that, because we don't want Steve to use as a platform to get in the top 48. He's bound to beat a couple of people. But what do you think of him now, Carl? Now you've known him for these many years. What do you think of his looks objectively now that you've known him? Can you remember what you first thought?
Like I say, he's changed a bit. He's sorted himself out a bit.
Yeah.
Looks a bit better.
How? What's he done?
I don't know. His hair's better.
Yeah, what was it before?
It was just a bit nothingy. Do you know what I mean? It was like just like if you just let your hair grow and do its own thing. Whereas now it's got a style.
Yeah.
So it looks good.
Glasses, he's changed.
His glasses are stylish.
Yeah.
Just stay sat down.
Right, Rockbusters.
Some people like tall men.
Yeah, go on.
That's, right, first one. The weather stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was R, which was rainbow. Right?
Rainbow?
Like rain is the weather, and it smells like bow. Body odour.
No, it's B-O.
It's B-O, and that's B-O-W.
Well, yeah, but you've got to play...
It's not pronounced bow, and it's not spout bow.
Who calls it bow? Everyone knows it's B-O.
What, you don't care? You don't care that doesn't work?
Well, they got it, so again, as long as
one person got it, Carl.
they're getting it.
One person got it. Of all the emails, one person got it.
Second one, look, Gran, just get on the boat, will you, and help us out.
Go on.
That was R. That was Ronan, right?
Ronan, who's Ronan?
Ronan.
Who's Ronan?
Ronan Keating.
But he's known as Ronan Keating.
No, it's not. No, it's not anymore, though. He's gone on his own, hasn't he? He's just known as Ronan.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. It's Ronan Keating.
He's always been known as Ronan Keating.
Right.
So that doesn't work like that, go on.
Third one.
Next.
If you're going to do that to your drink, I'd let it settle for a little bit before you open it. That was CK.
Right.
Shake a can. Shake a can. If you're going to shake your can.
This is the worst competition ever.
So.
It's Chaka.
Have you got...
It's Chaka. It's Chaka. It's Chaka Khan.
Shake a can.
No, Chaka Khan.
What you got?
Chuck a can might have worked. To throw a can.
Who got all three right then?
Well,
because basically what happened was people
We're
just
stopping
emailed in 3 guesses.
We're stopping
and
this.
the guesses that were right came from Mandy Thompson in Hendon.
let's ruin
but
that
frankly,
one. Well, that's run that into the ground. That's Do We Need 'Em ruined.
No, we can't just bin everything on 1 week.
I don't think we're gonna get that, they're not as good as they think they are, because you've only picked on Newton Einstein. You don't know anyone else. You don't know who Gandhi is. Chimpanzee that. You've run out of,
I did like the jingle for that though.
Oh, chimpanzee that!
That was a great jingle.
Yeah,
But sadly we won't be able to use that again.
So who's won anyway?
Well, it was Mandy Thompson I mentioned, but as I say, she guessed, so I mean, she can have the prizes, she's welcome to them. But, I think we should knock it on the head, Carl. Maybe you should come up with something new.
No, I think it's still got a few weeks in it.
I think we should take some time off.
Well.
Yeah. What about, like, the foreseeable future?
Dunno.
Song for the lovers, do you want to just play
A song for the ladies. Listen, I think it's maybe the March issue of Company Magazine. Buy that, top 50 most eligible people. There's probably an address or a phone number to call. And here's another song for the ladies, maybe just to charm you further. Tom the Model by Beth Gibbons and Rustin Man.
Carl, say goodbye and say it nicely, like you're happy.
See you later.
Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Raring to go. He's a bit grumpy, Carl. Woken up at 8
Because
o'clock.
he's from the north.
Yeah, because he's in London.
Yeah.
And London's rubbish, right, isn't it? Oh. Working you can't even get a Band-Aid in London, can you? Or grouting. In Manchester, I could walk to the next shop and definitely get some Flash, or maybe some Vim. You can't get it down here. You gotta go to a trendy bistro, haven't you? Carl, why are you grumpy?
I told you before, I'm just a little bit tired today.
Because he had to get up, but the builders next door woke him up.
No.
He's always going about his hours. Those builders probably got up at 6.
Yeah, but I can understand builders who get up early because they're building outside and they've got to get the job done before it gets dark. But he's working in someone's lounge. If it gets dark, put the light on. It's not a problem. So why is he starting work at like 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, because the builders get paid by the day, and if you get a builder and go, I'll just do 11 till 3, he's not going to go, I tell you what, love, just give me 40 quid. I didn't do a whole day. It's a day's work, isn't it? So you want to get the most out of them, don't you?
Plus, he probably wants to finish early so he can have a good night out.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night, you know what I mean? He wants to...
Yeah, he wants to get at least 15 pints in.
And he was cheery, I bet he was whistling and, dancing around and tapping, so I don't know how you can be annoyed at that. Why don't you get earplugs?
I don't like the idea of earplugs.
Why?
Because I live in a flat, so it's not as if I'm looking after my house, right?
I know. Already, I've lost you. No. That wasn't even a whole sentence and I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but what I mean is...
What?
If you live in a house, right, you know that you've turned the lights off downstairs, you know you haven't got a frying pan on, right?
Right,
okay,
so,
not really.
Keep him going.
But I live in a flat, and I don't know what the other people are like. There might be some daft people in there who don't...
imagine that.
Right, who don't turn stuff off. Now, if I have earplugs, and the fire alarm's going off, I'm not gonna hear it, I'm gonna have a good sleep, but who knows what could happen. So I don't like earplugs. It's not safe.
Okay.
If you live in a block of flats.
But I think you'll find, because I've used them, I think you'll find that a fire alarm will cut through
I wear them sometimes, if it's noisy or I want to go to bed early or something, and I hear my alarm clock, and it goes, beep, 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 beep. It's that loud.
Okay, well...
And a fire alarm is deafening.
Alright, so we've talked in the past about snails who sleep for 13 years.
No, you have. That's never been confirmed. In fact, the expert hadn't heard of it.
Well, they do.
Okay.
I read it on different sites.
Okay.
So how much does it take to wake them up? Got you.
What do you mean?
Well, they sleep for 13 years.
Yeah, but it's probably, but I don't know what you mean by sleep. It's not the same sort of pattern that we have in a mollusk, is it? There's different, what is sleep?
It's when you're sort of shut down, and...
But they can estivate, they can actually literally shut down.
No, but they didn't say that, they said they sleep for 13 years. And I mean, have you ever had, like, more than 10 hours sleep?
Yeah.
Feel really groggy?
Well, no, I feel good after 10 hours sleep.
I feel rough. I just was thinking what a snail would be like. They're like, oh.
Be even slower than normal.
be even slower than you. Play a record.
Well, anyway.
Karl Pilkington, we've got a lot to get through. We've got things like, Radiohead to play. We've got Feeder. We've got, Teenage Fan Club.
Sure.
We've got 2 new competitions, Steve.
Go on.
A great one coming up, a film competition.
I'm excited.
That's great. And, a music-based competition.
Is it right to say that Rockbusters is no longer?
We've still got Rockbusters.
Really?
It's hanging on by the skin of its
I thought we
teeth.
got rid of that. I thought we'd all agreed that we got rid of that rubbish.
No, I think we should do it. I think people like
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
It's because he got his name in Heat now. It's
No,
Ricky Gervais,
honestly-
Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington and the Heat said they like Rockbusters. That's why.
Carl, I thought we had a meeting and we agreed that it was not going to happen anymore.
He's worried about the fans.
There's a guy here emailed in, he just emailed in 3 band names. He said, I may as well email in now on the off chance these are right, because it's such an arbitrary quiz.
Yeah.
It's essentially a waste of time. The clues are so complicated.
D. Frida Payne. That was a classic. That was a classic Rockbuster, wasn't it?
when they start getting a bit ridiculous and that, and people aren't getting them,
Oh.
then we'll...
You can't drink that pop now. Shaka Khan.
No.
That was another piece of genius.
Well, I think we've already reached that stage, Carl, to be
I've
truthful,
only
mate.
just got in this river, and there's loads of logs. Justin Timberlake, he said river. Lake, he said river. Lake, he said river. Just few of the highlights of Rockbuster.
Can you please promise that this is the last one today? Because it's really, I think it's bringing the show down.
Steve, he can't promise he'll remember the answers today. How can he promise what's going to happen next week?
I still think it's got legs in it. Let's just see how it goes next week.
You're not going to bring it back next week. It's got to be finished. We've got to put an end to it. We've got to give it a sort of final sending off.
Okay, I'll tell
We've
you
got
what.
to smother it, Carl, for its own good.
I do want to trial this new film quiz we've got, because it's, I mean, I'm excited. I think it's the best competition we've come up with, to be quite honest. I mean, Carl, you agree, don't you?
It's alright, yeah.
Yeah, it's a film-based quiz.
Right.
We'll play you a clip from a classic film. I can tell you the film we're going to play. It's The Sixth Sense.
Right.
And there'll be a question afterwards, and you can win The Sixth Sense.
On DVD.
Yeah, not the ability to sort of tell when someone's behind you, but just as film. Do you believe in sort of like extrasensory sort of perception and stuff, Carl?
Ghosts and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Not ghosts, no, the fact that people maybe can sense, beings.
There was a woman in on the Christian's breakfast show, right?
Yeah.
Blind woman.
Right.
Clairvoyant.
Is that her name?
Forgot. But she was a bit useless.
She's a bit useless.
I'm always worried about what's going to come out of
I'm
Carl's
worried
mouth.
what you mean. What?
Do you know what I mean?
She's a bit rubbish at being a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think if you're not that good at something, don't go on the radio and do it.
Carl, you better leave.
So, what, sorry.
Well, she was saying,
So
like,
what was the relevance of her being, blind? What was that for? What did you
I
tell me?
just thought it was a bit weird. I think she was using that because the fact that she can't see living people, but she can contact the dead ones.
Yeah.
That's
And so
what-
when you go, sorry, this is XFM 104.9.
No,
Once
listen to
again,
you.
Carl's opinions do not necessarily reflect anyone.
Those of any human being.
Any other person alive today.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Carl,
but
so
listen-
how did she demonstrate her clairvoyance, and why was it not very convincing?
She was sat in the chair you're at, right? And people called up and
I
said,
sensed that.
Weird.
they called up and they said, right, can you have a word with me, Gran?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, she's dead, isn't she? And it's like, yeah. He goes, ooh, and everyone's like, ooh, she knows her stuff.
It was 50-50 to be fair.
Yeah, and especially with a gran, because the person sounded about 35, so the chances are
Yeah.
they haven't got a gran anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just
Unless it's
like,
the fellas from Busted, because they, in the year 3000, they've only got to a great-great-granddaughter, and that's 1,000 years, so presumably, they can live a lot longer.
yeah. I just wasn't convinced anyway. I don't want to diss her, because, she came in and she did her stuff, and if people believe in it, I'm not going to put it down, but it just was a little bit
You
odd.
believe in it! You just think she didn't have the real power, as opposed to it being rubbish.
No, whatever. But yeah, I don't know what we were talking about there. So we've got the film thing going.
I don't know what we were talking about.
Film.
What were you talking about earlier about glasses as well, and Steve taking his glasses off? What was that?
What are you saying that in front of him now for?
Was it an insult?
It wasn't really an insult.
Carl, what were you up to?
No, what was it? I genuinely don't remember. I genuinely don't remember.
Well, right, Steve, I'm not having a go. Right? Just saying how people, it's a bit weird that you've got glasses because you've got a good pair of eyes on you. Right? That isn't an insult.
What were you talking about, though? What was it? Why did
it was the fact that people who wear glasses always look a bit weird without them on. It's like, you know, they should wear glasses.
Okay, why did we get round to this? What was we talking about? What were we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what that was.
It sounds like an insult, even it wasn't intended as one.
It wasn't.
It sounds like an insult, Carl.
It does, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I should be allowed to punch you every time you insult me now.
No, but I'm not.
I'm doing it. I'm going to give you a dead arm.
Look, Steve, it's you.
You always even if it wasn't, you intended it to be one.
What you...
Oh, that was real. Play a record.
Yeah, but
it's mad.
Yeah, every time you insult me from
That's mad. For what it's worth, in my opinion, one of the best things I've done for many a year. It's XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
I sometimes wish you spoke like that for real, because I wouldn't leave the studio with a headache then. There you are, see, it's just come stinging back.
Oh dear.
A lot of people I meet from the street, they go, I wish I was Ricky Gervais's mate. No, you don't. Let me put your mind at rest now, you're not missing anything, am I right, Carl?
Who says that walking along the street?
No, people.
Where's that ever been said?
They shout out.
What are you thinking? Oh, just thinking. I wish I was Ricky Gervais's mate.
Well, I've met people that are friends of friends.
Oh, he must be fun to be with.
Exactly.
In an enclosed space.
Yeah.
In an echoey small space.
Oh, imagine sharing a prison cell with Ricky.
That'd be good, wouldn't it, Carl? Oh, that would be fantastic. Well, I'd be the daddy, wouldn't I?
I hate it.
The suicide rate in the prison would shoot through the roof.
Yeah. Now come over here and suck mummy's. Now listen.
What do you reckon, Carl, to being Ricky's friend? Did you find that an exhilarating experience, something that you enjoy and look forward to?
It's alright for about an hour, and then anything over that is when he's just messing about and he wants to hit me on the head with a tray.
We went for lunch yesterday, didn't we? That was more than an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we had a drink in the week, didn't we? That was more than an hour, wasn't it?
That was a good...
Is he okay when it's just the two of you? Because I find as soon as there's a third person...
Well, yeah, just to give you...
He just starts showing off.
Well, there's a little bit of that, right? But I went out with Ricky, like you said, right, for a drink in the week. And, you know, I went home, and Suzanne, my girlfriend, said, where have you been? I said, I've been out for a drink with Ricky. Yeah, you've been out for a while, what have you been talking about? I sort of sat there for a minute and thought... There's nothing that I can tell her we've been talking about that she'll show any interest in. She said, well, you must remember something. I said, I can't. She goes, no, something, just anything that you were talking about. What are you talking about? I said, right. The one I remember, one of the topics that came up was, imagine that the only way to have a kid was you had to sleep with a squid. How many kids would you have?
I was saying it was the future and the squid taking over. The only way they could do it now was like a filter. You had to see with the squid. I was going, would you? He's going, what do you mean? I was going, would you? He said, there's not a time he hasn't gone home with a conversation buzzing in his head that he got confused about.
Would anyone want a kid that much?
Does the child look like a squid when you have it, or is it
it's not. I was going, no, it's normal, but it's like a filter with a system. The only way you can do it to make sure, you have to impregnate the squid. And it's a filter, and then you can, test tube baby in the future.
Did the busted lads mention that in the song?
He did, but he did underwater, that's where I got it from. I said, well, you probably sort of get quite friendly with them eventually. You probably would be breeding with the squids and,
So what does Suzanne make of Gervais? Has she met him a few times?
Yeah, she just said, she can understand why we sort of get on, because we both sort of come up with daft stuff all the time, and...
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy to have a discussion.
I love the way that it talks about his partner like the adult.
Well,
we're the two kids that go out playing, talking about squids.
That is exactly how I see Suzanne. It's like, if she wasn't there, I don't think you'd get out of the house in the morning.
Well, you'd
have tied your shoelaces together.
Yeah, you'd have your earplugs in.
You'd have forgotten to put your trousers on.
The fire alarm would be going off, and, someone would left a frying pan on, the builders would be sort of throwing you round.
Yeah, I imagine she makes you like a round of sandwiches.
Well, she's noticed that I don't ask as many questions now. Because, last night was one of the first times in ages that I'd asked her something, right?
What did you ask?
Where's the bathroom?
No, right, do you know, I'm always thinking stuff when I'm bored, right? If it's when I'm washing up or what have you.
Yeah.
And, last night, she was watching, that Midsummer
Murders.
Midsummer Murders, right? I don't like it, I think it's rubbish. Right? So,
another thing you've got in common then.
No, but, do you know what I mean? But I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She really likes it.
He was saying he's watching the microwave. She was going, Karl, no, this is the telly. This is the telly.
Wait a minute, this chicken's gonna come
I've seen this before, it comes round again in a minute. Karl, what's the washing machine, Karl?
So she's watching it, loving it and that, and I'm bored, because it's just, it's a boring programme. So, So I'm sort of looking through magazines that we've got.
Trying to find animals without heads.
And, it's in one of her magazines, and there's this article, right, about these identical twins, brothers, right, and one of them meets this girl, right, and it turns out she's got an identical...
I've heard this is true.
Right.
They get married.
She's got an identical sister.
Right. So, they both go out.
So 2 identical twins, male going out with 2 identical twin sisters. Yeah.
So I was looking at it going, oh, that's weird, because you see them, like, they're always wearing the same cardigans and that, and that's like...
But then, but if you're an identical twin, then you probably would fancy the same sort of person, wouldn't you?
But then, I was asking, she was going, it's getting near the, the plot, the murderer. If they had a kid, would they look the same?
Yeah. Not necessarily, because it depends on what genes are passed over. Even though they've got the same exact sets of genes, that you don't pass on all the genes, do you? It's 50-50, but you don't pass on exactly the same genes in each sperm, let alone with an identical twin.
Yeah, but even though you don't do that, like, my brother and sister don't look like me, but you know they were related.
Because they share 50% of your father's genes.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah. No, you share 50% of your father's genes and 50% of your mother's, but not the same 50% on 2 occasions.
I think you completely
lost it already.
When you brought in the word genes, I thought you was thinking, what
no, they wouldn't necessarily. They wouldn't necessarily, no. They could do by...
Did Suzanne look at you like Oliver Hardy looks at Stan Laurel when he's just, like, nailed his hand to a wall or something?
She went, ask Ricky tomorrow.
And then turned up John Nichols.
And then turn it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant. I think there's I heard a story once where 2 sets of Siamese twins married. What if you fancied the one on the left?
Yeah. What if one of them was having an affair behind the other one's back? That'd be difficult to conduct, wouldn't it? You better show off he's waking up.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing down there? What are you doing down there?
Nothing, there's no one down here.
Well, I think there is, because I can see her sister here.
No.
What's she doing?
No,
she's covering for her. What are you covering for him for? He's your husband. Is my wife down there?
I read something about some Siamese twins.
Go on.
And, one of them was saying, we get on each other's nerves and that.
The other was going, we don't.
I didn't know this.
I've never liked you. I've never liked you.
One of them was going, I hate doing the washing up, but I'll let her do it. And, the person doing the interview said, well, why don't you help out? Just dry up and get the job done quicker. And she was like, no, I can't stand it. I prefer just to hang around there and wait for the other girl to do the washing up on her own rather than help and get the job done.
Sure.
Just selfish.
Well, there was one set of Siamese twins. One had a job and the other one didn't.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. The other one was unemployed. The other one had a job. She had to go to work. She had to get up at 6 o'clock on her day off.
I'm supporting you, literally.
Yeah.
Then they get done off the social for sort of...
Yeah, because the other one was signing on.
With me, Steve and Karl.
Alright.
Just having a whale of a time, both of them. They love being in this room with me for 2 hours. That is their favourite part of the week, I think, isn't it? That's what I haven't said that, but I'm assuming they love it. Right, competition time. Brand new competition we come up with, my favourite we've ever done, I'll be honest. And a great prize, The Sixth Sense. You get a clip of a great film, and then you get to keep the great film. Now, I'll just explain this competition. I think Karl is a little bit of a frustrated actor, and so by the power of technology, Karl takes the role in a film, and there's a question about it afterwards. This is a scene starring Karl Pilkington from The Sixth Sense.
Jeez, I hope nobody got hurt.
Be alright?
You're very quiet.
I'm just thinking about stuff. That's all.
You're mad I missed the play, aren't you?
A little bit annoyed, to be honest. Went down a storm playing the drums in Little Donkey, but your loss.
I'd give anything to have been there.
Well, you wouldn't, because you didn't, but like I say, show off, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just quiet because I'm thinking about stuff, like I said, right? I'll make a big deal out of it.
What is it?
Well, I was just thinking, what would happen, right, if you put a chameleon on a mirror? How would it handle that? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Oh, you're scaring me.
That's scaring you. This'll scare you, right? The other day, saw two old men sat there having a Twix. You never see that, do you? Old fella having a Twix.
Do you see ghosts, Cole?
No, just the old fellas having a Twix for it.
They talk to you?
No.
They tell you to do things?
No, because they were too busy eating, but what's that got to do? What are you looking like that for? Do you think I'm some sort of freak or something? Is that
I would never think that about you.
Well...
Ever.
No.
Got
it?
Alright.
Well,
it's a very chilling scene, that.
That is great. Oh, that is fantastic.
It's a very spooky scene from the film The Sixth Sense. Rick, I think you've got a question.
Well, yeah, I mean, Karl played it wonderfully there, the role of the child that sees weird stuff. But who played the original role? What was the name of the child actor who played the original role?
It's email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win a copy of The Sixth Sense. But I think we can probably play it again later for those that missed it, or those that caught the tail end, or those that need another reminder.
Yeah, you got to, get your, it's 15, 20 minutes, get your, answers in, we'll pick a lucky winner, and then, we'll play it again, because I think Karl can go to Hollywood with some of the things I've seen there.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I'm going to play a track now. We tried to play it a couple of weeks ago, but the jump, so I got a new CD of it. It's Papa Garcia. Well, we've had lots of emails already. In fact, my favourite one is a suggestion of the name of that feature, specific to this today's, is the Twix Sense.
Indeed.
Which, was great. And feel free to send in your suggestions, because we're going to try and do one a week, a classic film, with Karl in an important role. But if you want to, see Karl as maybe as, Michael Corleone in The Godfather, send in, we'll see what we can do, won't we, Karl?
And don't imagine that it has to be a male character. I imagine that you could play, for instance, Sharon Stone's role in Basic Instinct.
I don't imagine it has to be a human. I mean, an animate object.
He might be better suited.
He'd be very good as a rock.
Yeah.
Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna pick up something we spoke about before. We're gonna announce we're gonna play that again in a few minutes. But Karl wants to put the record straight, don't you? Karl's fed up with when he comes up with something that's a little bit fantastic and far-fetched and wrong, that we take the mickey out of him. So he's brought in some hard evidence of the story, haven't you?
No, do you know, like, I find stuff on the internet and that, right, and I come in and tell you about it and you go, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
And then you'll say, show your workings, which I've never liked doing.
No.
When teachers say that, I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I normally can't.
No.
I've always gone,
he's just got the answer's 5, and they go, no, I asked for the capital of China. The answer's 5.
Yeah.
But right, so we started a feature a couple of weeks ago, chimpanzee the thing about monkeys and stuff.
Let's just play the jingle, right? Oh, chimpanzee that!
Yeah,
right.
We started that.
That's facts about apes, isn't it? And
monkeys, chimps, whatever.
Yeah.
And I told you a story about a monkey that was in a zoo.
Yeah.
And it got pally with the zookeeper.
Right, yes.
Remember?
It moved into his house, didn't it?
Yeah.
And didn't it ultimately have an affair with his wife?
Yeah, it liked a little brandy at night and a cup of tea in the morning, then he went to work and it moved in on its wife.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I read that in a book.
Yes.
Right? But then I was looking for some more monkey stuff online the other day, and I found the same story from a different source.
Okay.
Which is always a good sign.
And it's corroborated what you claimed, is it?
Kind of. There you go.
It's not a different source, though, is it? It's someone who read the same thing as you and printed it themselves.
I left out a fact. His name's Oliver.
What, the monkey?
So I got that wrong, yeah. The monkey's called Oliver. Can you see that, Steve?
Oh, yes.
Right.
There's a picture of him here.
Do you want to read it?
Do you, where is this from, then?
I was looking for world famous monkeys online, and it...
www.apenaut.org. This is someone who, in America, who set up a sort of similar website to...
I don't know where he is, but... Yeah.
Okay, He was originally brought into the US with 12 other chimpanzees, but immediately stood out as different. He learned to drink, enjoy coffee and beer, and smoke cigars. In the evenings, he would sit on a sofa and watch television. If his caregivers were out of coffee, he would walk into the kitchen, pour a cup, and take it into the den. As he got older, he made sexual advances on the wife, and as a result was sold.
I reckon it was a stowaway. And to not get caught, he pretended to be a monkey.
Yeah.
Whereas really, it was just a...
That would make sense, because the final line is, he's now living in retirement in Texas.
Yeah.
But my only query, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, is that it doesn't really give much more information. I mean, someone who's set up a website like this, I'm worried that, what I'm saying is I'm worried he's kind of an American twin of you. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I mean by that? There's no real hard evidence. There's no kind of dates. There's no references to where he was specifically or what zoo he was in.
Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
From Dallas. Hi. We're cousins.
Why do you need to know all that? The story's
What
there.
do you mean, why does he need to know all that? Why not accept it? Because another fella reckons a chimp moved in on someone's wife.
What I'm saying is, that he could be as much of a nutter as you. Do you see what I mean?
What do you mean? Could be? He is.
Yeah, exactly.
What, and go to that much trouble of, like,
Yes.
sorting out a website and that?
You host a radio show, for goodness sake. To spout your idiocy. Setting up a website's hardly anything. You've had to get a job.
He was stressed yesterday because we want to do another chimpanzee that. Have we got a new story coming up for chimpanzee that?
Yeah.
He was stressed yesterday because he said, I'm really overworked, I'm really getting fed up. He said, I haven't even sorted out the story about this monkey. He said, how overworked am I that I haven't even got time to sort out a story about a monkey? You know how much I love that.
Rick, do you think there's any way we could lure Oliver out of retirement to come over and produce this show?
I think we probably could.
I'm parched for a cup of coffee. Would you pop to the kitchen?
We're going to play a bit of Springsteen.
Oh, I love it.
For Martin Freeman, he said, please play some Springsteen or Bowie. I'm trying to get him into Motown, but he only likes level 42.
Yeah.
But this is for him. Sing for the moment on XFM 104.9. Well, that is the most popular competition we've done, judging by the amount of emails. The Twix sense there.
To be fair as well, Rick, there is a question that is answerable. I think that's also a reason why people...
Yeah, that's because I did it and not Karl, probably.
Exactly.
I asked the question there.
Yeah.
We're going to play it again, because other people want to hear it again, and then we will give the winner's name, and he will win that copy of it.
Karl in the Sixth Sense.
Jeez, I hope nobody got hurt.
Be alright.
You're very quiet.
I'm just thinking about stuff. So.
You're mad at us to play, aren't you?
A little bit annoyed, to be honest. Went down a storm playing the drums in Little Donkey, but your loss.
I'd give anything to have been there.
Well, you wouldn't, because you didn't, but like I say, it's your loss, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just quiet because I'm thinking about stuff, like I said, right? I'll make a big deal out of it.
What is it?
Well, I was just thinking, what would happen, right, if you put a chameleon on a mirror? How would it handle that? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Cole, you're scaring me.
That's scaring you. This'll scare you, right? The other day, saw two old men sat there having a Twix. You never see that, do you? Old fella having a Twix.
You see ghosts, Cole?
No, just the old fellas having a Twix, boy.
They talk to you?
No.
They tell you to do things?
No, because they were too busy eating, but... What's that got to do? What are you looking like that for? Do you think I'm some sort of freak or something? Is that...
I would never think that about you.
Well...
Ever.
No.
Got it?
Alright.
Oh, there you go. And so the question was, who played the original role of that kid in the car who saw strange things? And the answer is, Steve?
Haley Joel Osment, of course,
Yeah.
who is a talented young performer, but I don't think really has anything on Karl Pilkington, who I think made that scene even more chilling and more atmospheric than the original.
Definitely.
And we'll give this to, let's see, I think it's Francis Marnie, who's emailed in. He or she said, I don't know if it's a he or she, but,
I is male and he is, no,
well, I think it's
I is female and Frances or I don't know.
Anyway, that could be a fake name, who knows. But, let's assume it's a he says he's a sad little nerd who, it was his birthday yesterday and only his mum remembered, even his best friend forgot.
Definitely a bloke.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really relate to life as a bit of a loser, a bit of a nerd, so I don't really know what he's talking about, but I imagine a lot of our audience do, so let's give it to him sort of...
I imagine he's a little four-eyed, little lanky. Yeah.
Actually, as I look again, I notice he's not even got the name right. He spelled it Haley Joel Osment.
Oh.
Instead of Osment. But, so he really is pathetic. I mean, what a pathetic little weasel.
Well, I'll tell you what we've done now we humiliated him. Don't give him the prize. Give it to someone else.
Well, it's on TV tonight anyway on ITV.
No, well done, Francis. Thank you for listening, and well done for spotting who Karl was trying to...
And whatever girl you fancy at school, ask her out, say, come back to my place, watch The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
She'll love it, and you'll be guaranteed a shit.
Why do you assume he was at school?
I don't know, because his spelling is terrible. Although I'm looking at Karl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a very badly put together email, I just assumed it was a kid.
Right.
Well, if he is a kid now, and he's going through formative years, he's probably really... I never dreamt it was a kid.
Really?
I feel a bit bad now.
Well, you thought it was a sort of 25-year-old loser, even more pathetic in a way.
Yeah. And now I'm worried that, you've embarrassed, an adolescent live on, one of the biggest radio stations in the building. It's not even the biggest radio station in the building. I can't believe that. It's the smallest radio station in this building.
Right, now we've done that, right, are we doing a proper competition?
Yeah.
Setting up the old,
Rockbusters, your favourite, isn't it?
Well, let's play a tune before. I don't think I can face that.
Well, it's just that we've also got, that song sounds alright. Aren't we? Another new feature.
That song sounds good.
Can I just say before we play a record that, we've had an email from Dickie Anderson.
Dickers!
Richard Anderson.
Dickster, you Dicky Docky Dido, are ya?
If you're a new listener, then you won't have come across Richard before, but
he loves the show.
He's our biggest fan.
He's a bit of a, and he loves the show. He tapes it and listens back to it 4 or 5 times.
But the great thing about him is he's not afraid to offer a bit of constructive criticism.
What's he said?
Well, all I'm going to say to you is he said, is it true that companies are now getting rid of hold music and are instead using your show to irritate their customers while they're waiting on the phone? I don't know. We'll look into that, Dickie, but thanks for that.
Teenage Fan Club on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Do keep your suggestions coming in for roles that you'd like to see Karl playing in future editions of that quiz.
This is the most popular competition we've ever done.
Has it got a name yet? Have we come up with a name?
Holly wouldn't.
Okay, brilliant. Well, anyway, we had some suggestions. Neil Wilson in Bedford, he suggested he'd like to see you, Karl, playing the role of Clyde the Monkey in Every Which Way But Lose.
That'd be great.
And also an excellent suggestion from Lee Gridley in Essex. The obvious role for you is, of course, Dustin Hoffman as Rain Man.
I said that, didn't I?
That's perfect.
That'd be great. Yeah. Just imagine going, okay, you remember, bet 2 for... Good, remember, yeah. Well, you've lost again, yeah. That'd be fantastic.
I'm worried that I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch, Karl. Can you play someone who's that clever?
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do Elephant Man.
Okay. Why, what sort of ideas you got for Elephant Man?
Well, I don't know whether I'd be him, or, like, the Doctor.
What would you say if you were the Doctor?
Just like, how you do that? You know what I mean?
How'd you do that?
Yeah. Ooh, have you seen your head?
Or he goes, I'm not an animal. And you go, wow. Judging by your head you are.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
It's loads, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll keep them going in. That's brilliant.
So,
the competitions don't stop there, sadly.
No.
Rockbusters.
Oh, God.
Right, how about, we've got this other thing, right, this other music thing. Yeah. How about we make that part of it?
How many competitions have you got?
No, well, this is what I'm thinking, right, because we can, if you're not happy with Rockbusters, if we add a little bit to it, and they love the bit I've added, then we can slowly fade it out without them knowing.
That's it, do 2 of your Rockbusters and one of these.
Right.
Are these the prizes, Karl?
They're the prizes.
Well, let's do the prizes.
Let's quickly go through them then.
Yeah.
Alright, what have we got here?
Let's speed this up, because I'm dropping off now. I think
it's
either warm in here, or this isn't the most scintillating conversation we've ever had.
Okay, firstly, there's a CD here. It's tracks that were sampled by various artists, including Jay-Z, Happy Mondays, and so on. It's the original versions. That might be quite good fun. I Love You. Let me see. It's a number of love songs.
Yeah.
You've got Blue featuring Elton John on there.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Great stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Retro Dance Masters.
Oh, yeah.
That's another CD. Dance tracks, obviously, on there. Oh, it's still knocking about. The Best Air Guitar Volume 2.
Sure.
Rubbish. This is quite good, though. It's Paul Whitehouse's TV show Happiness. That's the first series on DVD. We've also got Stephen Polyakoff's The Lost Prince. You can have that in your collection. Probably never watch it, but it might look like you're slightly classy and arty. And
Is it subtitles?
the best one-hit wonders album in the world ever. You got stuff on there like Nena, 99 Red Balloons, and M's Pop Music. So not that bad a selection actually this week. He's cut out some of the chaff.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So
right, here we go. Rockbusters.
Rockbusters, first one. We'll do 2 of these, and I'll play something in a minute. Right, first one. The Australian picks 2 blokes.
What?
The Australian picks 2 blokes.
The Australian picks 2 blokes.
The initial?
Yeah, the initial E. Right. And the second one, that builder's a bit...
I've got that already. It's annoying.
That builder is a bit cute.
He's a bit cute.
Yeah.
Alright.
And that's BT.
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 That builder's a bit cute.
Yeah. And the Australian picks 2 blokes, E. And then what I'm going to do now is play some sound effects that make up a song, and you've got to guess what the song is.
Go on then,
right?
just do it and then shot on
Here we go. There you go. So what song's that? It's sort of an XFM type
Okay,
song,
well, that's
isn't it?
great. Email only.
So I should just clarify that the first 2 are band names or artist names, but that's the title of the track that we want there.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so confusing. No one's ever going to figure this out.
They will, though. They will.
They'll do it.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Hey, listen, we've got the best fans in the world, Steve. Remember that. Remember that. Without them, we ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So, good luck to you.
Do you want to pick a track, Steve?
I'd love to.
I want to wear some monkey magic. I want to wear some chimpanzee that. I want to wear some aping around.
We've got that still to come.
Oh, I can't believe it. We've got Rockbusters. That film sounds good. And we've got, look at him up in Hollywood. And we've got, like, monkey me, monkey you. We got Gibbon on the horn. And Karl Pilkington. Right, give me some monkey magic, Karl.
Hang on, we better do the jingle, hadn't you?
Oh, chimpanzee that!
Oh, you'll like this one. What I've found is, found out like a lot of monkeys' names, like that's how I found out about Oliver.
Yeah.
What do you mean you found out a lot of monkeys' names?
Well, there's a lot of monkeys out there, and you think they're just called Monkey and what have you, but they're all given names, right? So this one that I found about, bit of a weird name anyway, it's actually called Crap, its name, right? And...
So, they're not born with those names. It's not like their parents give them those names, you know, they're just chimps. Yeah.
But this one, right? And,
it's called Crap?
Yeah, I know. Right, but do you know what it's famous for?
What crap?
Yeah.
No.
Go on.
Is it involved with this show?
It's, the first monkey to have its name tattooed on its head.
Yeah, again, I will say not by choice. There is no way that a chimp would go down to Camden Lock and go, are you a registered tattooist? I am, yes. Yeah, it's the cleanest, yeah. Okay,
Can I have a look through your book?
Can I have a look through your book? I'm looking for something quite gothic, but, I'd like, you know, what's your name? Crap. Oh, I'm not sure I can do that because you're not drunk, are you? I haven't had a drink. I haven't had a drink. I've had some Mbongo, and that's all. But no. What are you talking about? The first monkey to have its name tattooed on its head? What are you talking about,
There's got to be more information. Don't tell me you're leaving it there. There's got to be more information.
That was it, and then I read it thinking, well, that's weird, because that means there's loads of monkeys with tattoos on their head. If that's the first one.
No, it could be still the only one.
First and only.
Yeah, but would they report that?
What do you mean, would they report it? This isn't the Washington Post you're reading. This is mentalists who do websites about themselves every day.
What? There's got to be a third
Why is
act
that
to that
news?
story.
Why is that news? How did you come across that?
Well, you
First nut monkey with tattoo head, I mean, what are you talking about?
But why did it have its name tattooed on its head?
No, it didn't say that. I mean, yeah, I know, it's mad. But But he didn't say why.
Was that enough for you, though? Did you feel satisfied having read that? Did you not have other questions?
there's no way that is in the Guinness Book of Records. There's no way that is cited in the Guinness Book of Records.
I just read it as like, what a weird name for a monkey. And then, ooh, you won't have that on your head.
What would be a good name for a monkey?
I don't know, anything but that, really.
Yeah.
Dave.
Ted. But, what do you think of that then?
Well, I don't know what to think about it, because I don't know what you're telling me. I don't know that it's news, I don't know that it's true. I mean, I don't know where to start with that. Is that all you found? You found something about a monkey?
I'll tell you, right, when I was searching for stuff on monkeys, right?
Yeah.
I was searching around, like I always do, finding information, right?
Yeah.
And, found out, are you aware of the Iceman?
The Iceman?
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, and to me, the monkey thing was more...
What's the Iceman? Oh, the man that was found in the ice.
So you're aware
the
of him?
Neanderthal man.
Right, yeah. Ricky, do you know
Not a
about the
monkey,
Iceman?
though.
No, I know, but I just was looking at, like, info.
Right. The 5,000-year-old fella who was preserved in a glacier. That one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that more fascinating than the monkey?
Well, I know that it's true.
Yeah, it is true, but do you find it more fascinating?
Well, simply because it's true, I find it more fascinating. I can't act on if someone, anything that's true is more fascinating.
But, you see, what I get from the monkey thing, you go, oh, I wonder if it was happy about that, and...
But you accept it straight away, you accept that is true and interesting, and I don't know what that is. I mean, to me it sounds like a bit of cruelty towards animals.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if that's true, it's disgusting to tattoo a monkey's head. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no way, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't do if they reported that a monkey, went in and got a tattoo, and shows it itself, and then was riding a Harley Davidson down Camden, I'd go, that is incredible, but I'd really want to see it on the news, and it mustn't be anywhere near the 1st of April. You know what I mean?
I think you've just blown next week's.
David Bowie off Space Oddity album, XFM 104.9. See, I don't know where, I thought you'd sort of learned a little bit, Karl, what is an interesting fact, and what might just be a mentalist online. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what point we're making here? Why the truth is so much more even a little bit, even something that's just, mild, but is definitely the truth, is so much more interesting than just wish fulfillment of truth. To me, if it starts with, there was this ghost, right, it's not interesting. You could say anything. There was this ghost that could turn custard into wine. It doesn't matter. There was this ghost that had 9 heads. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There was this
Carl's looking at you going, there's a ghost that can turn custard into wine?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say after that. There's a ghost that can swallow alligators whole. The premise means it's not true to me. Do you know what I mean? It's like people say, you know what? God, right? He's incredible. I gotta stop you there. The fact that he can make the earth in 7 days, well, you've lost me already. Do you know what I mean? Whereas someone says something like, a cockroach can live 5 days without a head, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Right.
Do you think when you die, they say, you're a ghost, this is going to amaze you, you can go and you can spook people out?
Yeah.
Do you like custard? Come over here.
No. Well, if you don't, you don't. Do you like wine? Of course I do. Oh, you are gonna love it.
You're gonna love me.
You're gonna love it.
I've lost all my loved ones.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean? It's what your sort of beliefs are based on. Mine are sort of on, I suppose, logic and science, and so I'm amazed by the world and.
So the Iceman, why does that amaze you? What's like, ooh.
Well, they found some part of our preserved past. It's interesting. Again, I'm amazed by anthropology and evolution.
Yeah. It's just that line on its own like that, they found an Iceman is great, but then it went on, and it's going on about, they've had to get different people involved to find out how old it was. Because first of all, the story started off, right, an old fellow on holiday somewhere. Where did they find it? In Sweden or something? And he was walking in the hills, and...
He was walking?
In the hills.
In heels? Was he a transvestite?
In the mountains.
Oh, right.
In the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's walking about, and he sees this body in the snow, and he thinks, oh, So he calls the police up, and they come and have a look, and he goes, oh yeah, it's probably a murder. So then they dig it up and find out he's got hold of a spear in his hand.
Right, and he's dressed like Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. Right.
And they realise it's probably not a recent murder.
Right.
His knuckles are druggle on the floor. He's a Neanderthal man. They think, hang on, Karl Pilkington.
But when they found out, hang on, it's an old thing.
It's an old thing!
Can it? If it was a murder recent, then you'd go, hang on, how did this happen? Who does he belong to?
Yeah.
Well, the chances are whoever murdered him is also dead.
5,000 years ago, probably, yeah.
So leave it. Just bury it.
I don't think it's a murder investigation.
No, but they are.
It's not Quincy going, this was before my time.
It's not a murder investigation.
Yeah, just one thing bothers me, sir. Just one final thing. My wife loves you, but, this guy.
That's how they were
Why
treating
would he
him.
have a spear and a leopard skin? I just can't get over this. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying? Right, shut up everybody. What are you saying? You've got one chance now. You've got to ask me a question, and I will answer it to the best way. But what are you saying? What is your question?
Right, he probably spent a load of money.
That's not a question. That's not a question.
Well, let me tell you what I'm saying, right? They're probably spending a load of money finding out stuff about this fella who died. And even if he wasn't murdered, he'd be dead by now anyway. So get over it, right? 3,000 years ago, he died, right? So then they start messing about with it. Saying, well, how did he die? Well, it doesn't matter. It was ages ago. Then, they start digging his belly open, seeing, last meal that he ate.
Yeah.
Oh, he ate seeds and leaves. Well, no surprise, really. There's now else around. Again, spending more money. Someone's been paid money to sort that out. Then they bury him, and then said, hang on a minute, are you sure that he died by, like, a spear? Let's dig him up again. So they dig him up again, and find some splinter or something.
I don't believe they buried him.
They did. Well, in some sort of fancy coffin so everyone can see him. But for me, that is more wasteful than sorting out something that's, you know, like, someone who's ill. Sort something out, you know,
Sorry, it's not either or. They didn't pull a doctor out of surgery.
Exactly. It's not an old man in a bed in the corner or something.
Yeah, Ted, what are you doing? I'm just giving this bloke a stat clear. No, look, we found an old fella in a skit. Okay, you take over. It's not either or, Karl. What are you talking about? It's scientific research.
But don't you see why this is fascinating? It gives us an insight into how we lived 3,000, 5,000 years ago. That's an incredible historical document.
What if he was your equivalent? What if he was like the Karl of the time, and there's people, you know, ghosts now through there going, oh God, I don't believe it, they've dug up Karl. They think we're all like that. Oh no, they're going into his brain now. They're looking at how his brain works. We're gonna get such a bad rep. Oh,
well,
dear.
Each to their own. If you like it, I just thought it was a bit of a
waste of money.
A little bit of a waste.
Yeah, okay.
But, there you go. Anyway, will we give out the answers to Rockbusters next?
If we must.
Yeah.
It sometimes stuns me. Sometimes I'm taken aback, do you know what I mean?
But what worries me is if one day aliens do visit,
I'd love
and
that.
they come down, but what worries me is they might bump into, what if they bump into you? What if they bump into you and they think that you represent mankind?
And they go up and they start another planet.
They can they say, we'll ask you 3 questions, and if you answer them correctly, we will not blow up your planet.
Yeah.
We'd be doomed.
It depends.
It depends what they ask you, don't they? What if they said, right, Karl, what's the weirdest thing ever found in China?
I say hairy Chinese kid.
And they go, right.
Okay, interesting.
2, alright?
What don't you see anymore?
What do you see an old burger doing?
Don't see an old fella eating a Twix.
Yeah. And they say, what if they asked you, what's across the road from you when you're washing up?
Well, there's 3 things. Do you just want one of them?
No, I want all 3.
You want all 3? There was a Chinese kid dancing about in his underpants.
Yeah.
There was a bouncer every night getting ready to go to work. And the 3rd one, the old woman reading a book, the same book.
And they go, right, your planet's saved. See,
back in the ship.
Yeah,
they are a superior race.
And let's play Rockbusters.
Alright, first one was, the Australian picks 2 blokes. The initial was E. The answer there, Eminem. M&M. Alright, the second one, that builder is a bit cute. The initials there were BT. That was Bonnie Tyler. And then we introduced a new bit to the show. That song sounds alright. These were the effects you heard. and that was Prodigy, Smack My Bitch Up.
Who are you punching there?
And could I just say, no animal was harmed in the taping of that effect.
There you go.
No.
Right, so have you got a winner?
Yes, Rob Preston from Croydon. He has got all 3 correct, and he wins a selection
bag of shite.
Exactly. So, so good luck. Enjoy that, Rob.
If you can.
Yeah.
Sell it. Record and tape exchange within 40 minutes of receiving it. I imagine one good album that he likes. Bob's in on the tracks for all this bag of shite, please. Should we play a record?
Absolutely. Can I just ask now, what are we thinking with Rockbusters? Are we sticking with this, or because I really thought we'd cancelled it?
What about that format we've just done where there's like 2...
This is another off-air discussion, I think.
Well...
I just feel the listeners should be able to contribute.
They do.
Yeah.
They phone in and say, the show's rubbish, move on. Can we experiment on Karl? I'm a doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to tattoo on
Would he
Karl's
like a
head.
tattoo? Yeah. Oh dear.
Karl, have you got any tattoos? Have you ever thought about that? Any kind of piercings?
Don't like the idea. Don't mess with your body and that.
Okay.
He doesn't like the human body, he's scared of it.
But I told you, didn't I, about me uncle Tattoo Stan? We've talked about that, haven't we?
Yeah, tattoo Stan, yeah.
He's got loads, and I think now he sort of, looks in the mirror and think, oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
But then again,
so do you.
I was telling Ricky before about someone who had a tattoo. It's a bit horrible, really, isn't it?
I don't know, I can't remember.
The skin thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're not going to tell us it?
Again, I'm hoping it's not true, because it's from Karl, but it's pretty disgusting. But, unfortunately, because there's no paranormal or animals acting like humans involved, I think it might be true. It's a fellow who kept his dad's tattoo.
Yeah, he just sort of, when his dad passed away, he got the skin off and put it in a frame.
Who'd you ask to do that?
Oh, man alive.
Ashes to ashes, sorry, before we bury it, you don't...
Before we cremate, and I've got a Stanley knife.
Do you do any other services? Like what, my son? I'll just pop some of him in a jar for me. I'm sorry? How do you, I mean,
I bought this clip frame from IKEA.
Yeah.
Just slip that between
$4.99.
Yeah.
I
imagine your father is a man who's probably appalled by the idea of tattoos, earrings, things like that. I imagine he's quite an old school gent.
He's never sort of said anything, but,
if you came back with an earring, what would he have said when you were a youngster?
I never saw him that much as a kid, so I don't think he'd have noticed. My mum would have said, what have you done that for?
Yeah.
Our kid had a tattoo. And an earring.
Sorry, is this the one that borrowed a tank from the army to go and get a packet of fads?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We must tell that story again next week. For those that are fairly new listeners, that's got to seem tantalising.
Yeah.
Your brother once drove a tank down to the local shops to buy some cigarettes. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary story.
But that's it. We don't
It was that other auntie you told me about in the week. Not Auntie Nora, the one that farted for 5 minutes, but there's another auntie you talked about. How many aunties have you got?
I haven't really got another auntie. I've got me brother.
Yeah.
Who I haven't seen in ages.
Yeah.
My sister I hadn't seen for about 12 years, then I saw her again, and then she got fed up because I said...
Oh, she had a new kid and you went with all the same. I've seen one, I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Why is she saying that to your sister?
Your sister, you haven't seen her for how long?
I haven't seen her for about 12 years, and then for some reason I met her in a car park in Wales.
Right.
And,
it's incredible, isn't it?
For some reason.
Yeah.
And, she got in the back of the car and she said, oh, I want to show you something, right? And, she got this picture out and said, look at that. And it was one of my new nieces and nephews. You can't tell, can you, if it's a boy or a girl. Yeah, or whatever. And, she said, look at that. And so, and I sort of said, well, there's no point showing it me. All babies look the same, don't
There's
they?
no point in showing it me. It just takes 2 seconds of your life to go, oh, lovely.
Right.
That's all you have to do.
If it was a first,
yeah,
I'd say, oh, I'd show a bit of interest even though...
Do you think the novelty wore off for her, the second kid, third kid?
Sixth kid. I think even she should be bored of looking at pictures of babies.
Kind of a woman is she? And can I get her phone number?
Right, is that it then?
Play a tune. Have we got, is this it? Have we got to wrap it all up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I forgot to bring in a song for the ladies this week, so I thought I'd play a song for people who enjoy the work of Deep Purple.
That'll run and run.
What else is he gonna draw it out with? His face? This there's like a crack. There's like a crack in the sink, and we just can't be bothered to. There's glue. There's like a crack in the sink, and we just can't be bothered to fucking replace it because it's so expensive. There's like a crack in the glue. Crack in the sink, and we just can't be bothered. There's like a crack. There's like a crack in the sink, and we just can't be bothered to. There's glue. There's like a crack in the sink, and we just can't be bothered to fucking replace it because it's so expensive. There's like a crack in the glue. Crack. The hair dryer. Crack. Hair. Come have a look. Hair dryer. Crack. Hair dryer. But I can't be bothered to explain. Crack. Hair dryer. Hair dryer. Please help me out. Hair dryer. Please help me out. Please help me out. Hair dryer. Please help me out. Hair dryer. Please help me out. Please help me out. Hair dryer. Please help me out. Yes.